Hi and welcome back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to be doing something that is very exciting to me and probably very exciting to you as a knitter. I'm going to be organizing my sock drawer, my handmade sock drawer. So if you are a sock knitter, maybe you can relate to this. I make a lot of socks all the time, and I tend to, I make socks for myself, for gifts. I tend to stockpile them, like so, in a box. Some of them go as gifts and some of them just stay in the box. I do occasionally, I'll throw a new pair in my sock drawer, but I make socks all the time, so I have a lot of socks. And some of my socks, they're not doing too good because I've been knitting socks for, I've been a knitter for over 10 years, and I've been knitting socks for maybe, I'll say 7 years. So I have made a lot of socks, and some of the socks in my sock drawer, they're not all, I don't keep every pair of socks I make. I haven't kept every pair of socks I made for myself. Some of them are worn out, but some of the socks in my drawer currently are at least 4 years old, even longer, which doesn't sound too bad, but I wear my socks, my handmade socks, every day, all year round. They're basic. I really only wear my handmade socks, and I'm a fairly active person. I mean, I go on walks, bike rides. Like, my socks, they're shoved in sneakers and boots. I don't care. I always wear my handmade socks. So some of them are looking a little not too good. So I need to weed through them and use some of my stockpile of pretty new shiny socks, and I thought I'd take you along with me. This is where I currently keep my socks. They're in this bottom drawer of my nightstand, and this is where I keep them. This is, as a knitter, this is kind of like a horrible thing. I just ball them up like I would store-bought socks, and I kind of hate that. So I really want to just go through them, organize them, fold them prettily, as people do in like those pretty boxes. I always see those that other knitters have. Those pretty wooden boxes are just pretty. This is not pretty. So I need to go through these. Some of them have to go, and I have to reorganize this whole drawer. These are the socks I'm going to be weeding out. Most of these are Patton's Croy, which I love Patton's Croy. It's such a good, accessible, sturdy yarn, and they're really great, and they've worn very well. I've had these, especially this pair, for years, but you can see, especially a testament to how hard wearing they are and how much I've loved them and worn them. This pair is getting very thin in the sole, or what's that called? I think the sole of your foot. I'm blanking on this part, but right under the toe. Getting very thin here on both of these. This is actually a pair. I just inverted the colors. And then these two are shorties, and the problem with these, the same thing, getting very thin on the sole of the foot, but also I noticed in the toe. So for these I used Yarn Bee minis for the toe, and here you can see it's just starting to split right in the decreases. I just did a standard toe for these, and I guess that's where I pull on my foot a lot for the sock fabric. So when I wear these, I can feel how thin they are in the bottom of the shoe and bottom of my foot. So these kind of have to go. Same story with these ones. This is actually all Patton's Croy, just in the white for the contrast. And then this is a pair of Knit Picks Felici socks with scraps, 2 different colorways of Knit Picks, no, not Felici, I'm sorry, Knit Pick Stroll. And they are, again, very well worn on the bottom of the foot, and also on the inside. They are pilling like crazy. Every time I wear them, I have to pluck out, I have to pill them because there's just big wads of it, and I step on them. It's very uncomfortable. You can see there. So these have also had a really long time. So it's not they've worn really well, and it's just time to get some fresh socks in my sock drawer. Over here, these are fairly new socks. These are my bramble socks, and I only started wearing these recently, so they can stay. A pair of Knit Picks Felici, and some worsted weight NDK socks. So these are the ones that have to go. These are the ones that are staying, and then I will also be looking through the socks I have made. I miss them in the drawer. These two I know can stay. This is a pair of DK and a pair of worsted. This one has to go. This has like a big hole in it. This is actually one, if you follow my podcast, I had to re-knit the toe on one of them, so the toes don't even match anymore. But they've still been well worn, and it's time for them to go. Another Patton's Croy pair. Okay, so the drawer has been cleaned out, and now I can look through this pretty box of socks I have made. Just a very pretty little box with mermaids on it. It's very pretty to store some socks in it. So this pair I showed off recently in my podcast. I haven't woven in the ends on both of them, or just one? Just one. I have to weave in those ends. I should probably do that before I put them in my drawer. Most of these actually, if I can open this, are DK. Well, not most of them, but a portion of which I'm excited about. Because I've been recently knitting my DK weight socks on a smaller needle than I usually have done in the past, and I think they're going to fit really well. So we have this pair. This is my DK weight sock recipe, but with the stitch pattern in my Garter Rib Bliss sock pattern. So that's one pair. My New Year's Kiss sock pattern. Pair number 2. Pair number 3. 4. 5. 6. And then I have, well, counting this, that's 7 pairs of DK weight socks. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pairs of these 4 pairs of fingering. So this is actually my Boxel sock pattern, which I absolutely love. Such a great rib-based sock, but it's not just 2x2 ribbing forever, because that would drive me crazy. It does drive me crazy, which is why I designed this pair. And then these 3 I'm really excited about. This is my Garter Stitch sock collection. So we have the first one was Skipping Stones. Skipping Stones. And then Tripping Hazard. And Kick Strip. And I love these socks. I love Garter Stitch. This Garter Stitch sock collection was so much fun to design, and I'm so excited to finally getting around to putting them in my sock drawer so I can wear them, because I love them so much. And I might have to make another pair. Especially, they're such great, I'm gonna go on my Garter Stitch love again. They're such great easy repeats, and so much fun to just do a purl bump amidst a row of stockinette. So much fun, and I think this is my favorite, possibly because it's blue. Oh, I just love it so much. Okay, so that's 11 fresh new pairs of socks, plus the ones I'm keeping. I haven't counted those, so time to fold these up and organize them into my drawer. And that's my sock drawer, all organized. So I have now a total of 17 socks in that drawer, 18 once I weave in. I literally have 2 ends to weave in. It's ridiculous, I have done it already. So I will weave these in and add that to the drawer. The drawer is not as pretty as some other people's sock drawers. The drawer is a little bit shallow, so it's kind of hard to fold the socks in a way that is perfectly pretty, but it's much improvement over what it was. I can see all the pretty socks and just pick out a really nice, pretty, colorful pair, so that makes me happy. That is everything for this video. It's a little bit different than some of my other style videos, but I hope you enjoyed it and inspired you to maybe fix up your sock drawer if it's not 100% the way you like it, or maybe even inspired you to knit socks. If you haven't knit any socks, could you comment down below and tell me why? Because it's so much fun, really. You can do literally so many different stitch patterns on them, and they're such quick, fun projects, and they are so comfy to wear. Like I said earlier, they're the only socks I wear now. It's a rare day that I put a pair of store-bought socks on my feet. So if you haven't made a pair of socks, why not? And if you had made a pair of socks, what's your favorite sock? Like, what's your favorite way to do it? Top down, cuff down, top down, cuff down, that's the same thing. Cuff down, toe up, heel flap gusset, short row heel. What's your favorite way to make a sock? I love talking about socks. I could talk about socks all day, but I will not, because there are other things I have to do today. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you next time. Happy knitting!